Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like it's been a long time because it has been a long time, but that's for a completely separate topic. Um, that'll be for a separate video in general. But today, I just got done shooting my recap of the actual event. I wanted to use this video to just express my thoughts and opinions on some of the stuff that just came out regarding Apple's September 7th event. It's a crazy day. Apple has an event, Sony has an event today. And for those of you who care, Kanye West season 4 is also premiering today. But Apple obviously is pretty much dominating the headlines today with their new announcements. So let's talk a little bit about more of the in-depth nitty-gritty about the things that were announced today. iPhone 7. iPhone 7 in theory is essentially the same exact iPhone, whether it's the 6 or 6 Plus, or sorry, 6 or 6S line, in terms of design, with some very kind of minor polishes on it. So you have like the new jet black or piano black, whatever they're calling it. You do have a more water resistant case, so they've re-engineered that so that it's water and dust resistant, so it's more durable in that aspect. You have like the haptic button and the touch sensitive button on the bottom now, where the home button is no longer an actual button. You have the dual camera system within the 7 Plus only, so the 7 Plus is the only one that's going to get those dual camera lenses. So if you want those, you're going to actually have to go ahead and buy the bigger phone, essentially. And other than that, that is, what is new in the iPhone 7. Obviously, it's going to be faster. Obviously, you're going to have these, different features that happens every year with a phone. But that is all we're kind of looking at with the new iPhone 7 here. And for some people, that's enough. For some people, that's going to be enough to upgrade. For people who are on, like, let's say the 6, the 5S, anything below that, some of these features may be enough for them to go ahead and jump to the iPhone 7. Now, the big controversial changes with this, obviously, things like the headphone jack. The headphone jack, the 3.5 millimeter jack, has been completely removed in exchange for a lightning-based connector. All lightning-based headphone jack, and alternatively the option of getting the new AirPods, which are essentially wireless earpods, as you can see here. Unique design. I'd be afraid of these things like kind of like falling out or losing them, and given that Apple is selling them completely separate, I'm going to be interested to see like how, pricing wise. Let's see here if we can go ahead and find if they've announced the pricing here for the AirPods. I don't know. Obviously, digital audio is better, so it looks like $160, which, unless you really want the convenience of that, most people won't be buying, I would assume. The removal of the 3.5 jack will and won't matter for some people. Like, here's the thing: like, some people who have invested in really good headphones, whether they're Bose or Sennheiser or Shure, whatever audio company out there. If you have that 3.5 millimeter jack, the only way you'll be able to use it now is through an adapter, which is going to be included in the actual box of the iPhone 7. But again, that's another thing you have to worry about, like connecting and carrying around with your iPhone 7, which in my opinion is like the more adapters. It reminds me of the current like MacBook and all the adapters you have to carry around for that right now, which becomes a hassle, becomes a pain, another thing you have to carry around with you. Now, on top of that, you can't charge while listening to your music with the new Lightning, connector. Whether they're going to come out with an adapter for that to solve that problem, but again, that's just another adapter. Pre-orders for this will start on the 9th, available September 16th, so rather soon. It's going to be pairing up with obviously iOS 10. By all means, they've done great stuff with this. They've engineered great stuff with the camera system. They're not the first to do the dual camera thing, obviously, but the way they've packaged it is pretty nice. The new home button, I'm sure, is a nice additional feature, and having that force touch and haptic feedback is going to be a nice addition in terms of hardware. Stereo speakers, that's a more immersive experience, and it's faster. I mean, by all means, if you're looking for a new phone and you're in the iPhone realm, then it's a good, decent phone. Nothing surprising, nothing crazy for a new phone launch. I mean, the selling feature, in my opinion, is going to be those dual cameras, if anything. But in that event, you have to go with the Plus model if you want to get that. So if you aren't a fan of the size and the footprint that this carries, and you want those dual cameras, well, you're out of luck, because you have to go with the Plus to get it. but yeah, I think if you're on the 6S or 6S Plus, you're still fine. Unless you're like up for an upgrade or you're doing it through Apple's program, you're still going to be totally fine on that phone until like the 7S comes out, for example. Me personally, whether or not I'll be upgrading is still yet to be determined. It's a little bit different for me since I work in this space and I review technology and stuff like that. So ideally, this is something that would be good to get my hands on and check out. And if I'm up for an upgrade, then I probably will be getting it for that purpose. But for, you know, the everyday consumer who's on the 6S right now, unless you're up for an upgrade, it's not going to be something you need to jump on as of right now. Other than that, what was talked about was the Apple Watch. The Apple Watch is pretty simple. I mean, it got an all new engineering in terms of like the internals and stuff like that, so it's waterproof now. 369 I think is still going to be pretty steep for a lot of people who aren't into the whole like smartwatch fad or scene. They've done some cool updates, but I think at the same time watchOS 3 is going to bring life to the old watch, as well as the Apple Watch Series 1 if you want to buy that. So if you don't need the whole waterproof and stuff like that, then you can still get the Apple Watch Series 1, which is essentially the same housing as the current Apple Watch, just with a faster CPU to handle better performance. So on that end, I mean, I can't complain much. LT in a watch, I know that's something that they were trying to do. That's not something that I really want in the watch or would care about. More so I care about the actual interface and the apps that are coming out for it, and watchOS 3 seems to solve a lot of the gripes I had with the Apple Watch. So, nothing much there to touch on. But yeah, those are my general thoughts on it. I mean, the iPhone 7 is nice. I don't know if it was worthy of being like a 7 release. I think this is stuff that they could have done in like jumping from the 6 to 6S. And that's easy to say, rather harder to, obviously it's an engineering marvel at the same time. They've done a lot of great stuff in the design. I'm not arguing that. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Leave it down in the comments below. As always, for more content, head over to digitaldojos.com, and I'll catch you all in the next video.